can tell your experience. Yeah.
Oh, my culture shock in Sweden has been the feeling of being hit by a train. But it's also maybe because I'm French, but I lived 6 years in Ireland and I didn't feel any culture shock issues. And the context were the same. I was not students or refugees or expat. I was actually, it was choice where I had to arrive to countries where I looked at the administration and the whole system. The difference is here I did the same, but I already knew a Swedish person, but actually it was the same in Ireland, actually. So yeah, it was similar in a way. But the shock has been much bigger. First, because I've lost my financial security. That was the big mistake. That's the advice I give everyone. Never move without securing your...
So one tip, you can write it down. If you move because of love, think first about your economic situation, no?
Yeah.
So don't depend on that. Don't think it's a sacrifice of love, because at the end you're gonna pay for that. I mean, that's also my experience. I studied law at university. I almost am a lawyer, but I came here and I lost all the status of everything. I mean, because I had to start from zero.
Yeah.
It's like my education wasn't worth anything. You know, it was very terrible for me.
There's a lot to think about before you move in.
So you lost that, no?
So yeah, I lost my financial situation, which already mentally is big when we are raised as people being women, as being like you study, you find a job, you take care of yourself. I think we are all in Spain or France or everywhere else. It's really the message for women is that you are raised like that. You are not raised like to be beautiful and say you will be married and you will not work.
No. We here in Europe, I think women are raised to be independent. I mean, to have their own money. No. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that was that. So mentally, I started like having some kind of losing power in the mental health perspective, because I was feeling like the loss, and I lost all this landmark where you can like get back to and try to resource and to re-energize. So that is lost also. And then you see the people, really the Nordics are very special in the way that they are signsless. Right? Yeah. When you speak to someone, you don't know if it's a yes or a no, and you will never know if you said something wrong. You will just feel it. So with that also mentally is really strong, because it messes up your mind. You lose all the signals. You see someone behaving like extremely cold all of a sudden, and you're on your own trying to think, what did I do? What did I say? That was not the right answer or something. So you start having all these
you mean they have the poker face.
Yeah, the poker face, and even the attitude. If you really say, like, I will always remember my first social gathering in Sweden was a wedding. I was so happy. I was going to a wedding, and the tradition is that you don't sit beside the one you know or you're invited with. So
you partner, no.
Yeah, so you sit beside people you don't know.
So it's like blind date or
yeah, exactly. And so you start talking. It's also a nice way to meet new people, and, you know. And I remember this person. So it's very, very structured. You have a person on your left who is supposed to discuss with you. It's the one like socializing with you. It's his job. So it's like that. And I remember when he said like not even hi or how are you doing things. It was the first question was, why don't you speak English in France?
I mean, not word this is no word is what you're saying. Why don't you speak English in France? That's the first question she got in Sweden.
Yeah, so I was not prepared, right?
Yeah, suddenly you're responsible for the lack of education.
Exactly. For responsibility, and oh my God, I'm a record because maybe you know. And so I should have ignored, but you know, I'm saying I'm not raised as like someone talk to you and be nice with you. You don't ignore, right? And then so I just said, well, at least we get job out of it, you know, with subtle movies and stuff. So I just came up with something, but obviously the answer didn't please him. So he just turned to the other one and ignored me over the whole evening.
What did you say to him? To
so
this person?
you try to make a joke actually and say at least people get job out of it because there are subtitles and
yes. The movies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
so I was trying to
are Swedish people funny? Do they respond good to
Sorry?
Are Swedish people funny? Do they respond well to jokes? Or
No,
is it
no,
like,
they don't have. I feel sorry if Swedish people are, but they have a completely different. They are not the same kind of humor. Absolutely not.
Because they don't understand it's humor or not.
No.
Because we talk not in Swedish, not in French. We're speaking in English, not knowing the signal of each other. So I don't think it hit 1 second that it could have been a joke. Right? Not 1 second.
So don't be ironic.
Okay.
Because they take it as every word.
I have also experienced that in Germany, talking about culture shock, that's mostly I find most French people find German people not funny. Like they don't know how to laugh. They are very serious, and also you will make a joke and they will take that seriously and will never get that it is a joke. So
you felt that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But
I have the feeling the further north you go, the different the humor. Or I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so there was for me, and I've lost thread.
Yeah. And what else? Didn't you have another kind of social cultural
shock? I mean, it goes like this lack of signals of understanding, like the meaning of someone speaking is so through the whole body. It's not only the words, and especially in Sweden, when you don't complain and you don't argue. So the signal, my whole neurological way of understanding a conversation was like blank. So you feel like more and more isolated. So when you start coming in your country and you already have a weakness, which is the money was, and then so you feel dependent even more, like it just goes very wrong, and you just continue falling, and you try harder because why I'm not succeeding. So you try harder and you fall harder and you try harder and you fall harder, and it can be years of falling. It took me 3 years. Ended up like going in India. I was thinking, if I can in India, if I can make it in India, make it in Sweden. Good. So I went in India, and I came back, and then I started.
You mean in India?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happened?
Oh, that's another story.
But
when I came back, then I said, okay, now I just make it happen. So I was going back up. So it took me 6 years. 3 years down, 3 years to go back to about the same level, but not really, because it's 6 years where you have lost pension and skills, work, and all this. Just trying. You become just good at trying.
But how is in India? Just I really want. I'm curious.
In India, the signals are also totally different. Like if you take a tuk-tuk and you are the only woman on your own, white, and you take a tuk-tuk, if you speak too nicely to the driver, they will bring you to the cousin to get married.
To the
cousin.
Custom.
Cousin, to the relative.
Family member or whoever.
They will take you.
Yeah, they will introduce to the family members if you want to marry. And if you're too hard speaking like just then they will bring you to the other family member to make sure you buy all the carpets they have to sell. Right? So you cannot expect. So you really have to make sure you sleep well every night, because they are going to take all your energy out of you all day long to make sure you either marry one or buy everything they have to sell.
Yeah, interesting.
But that's just a tourist experience, right? It's not reflecting like your experience when you live there. So that was just tourist.
Yeah, but we all three been through this culture shock. So what is the good part and how can we solve the difficulties? I mean, how do you think is part of your personal growth? I mean, do you feel like, for example, when I come back to Spain and I see my friends and never been like really had this culture shock. I mean, it's like talking to a very different person. It's like when I'm back to Spain, I don't even feel I'm from Spain. No, I feel different. I'm something in the middle.
For me, that is the hardest part, because I didn't really experience a hard culture shock in Germany. I think I blended well in, but now I am feeling neither German nor French.
Exactly.
So for me, it's that part that is difficult. I'm not at home anywhere. I don't feel like I belong anywhere.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's hard to deal with.
Yeah. Because, but and it seems for you, you feel like hybrid, or like you feel like parts of different cultures at the same time.
But there is actually research on that, where you have this brain, like a neurologic wiring that happen after like all those years of changing yourself, putting yourself in different cultures, and through the process of assimilation, where you become, and it doesn't be, I mean, it becomes real that you identify as a citizen of the world. So your tribe is like shrinking, because then how many, you know, how do you feel home? You feel home with people having lived the same experiences. Right? You cannot feel home in people who have been living in their own countries, like your own country or whichever. So your tribe becomes like us. We need to find ourselves, and
we lose our identity. And I feel more identity.
It's a new identity.
It's a new identity. It's a new.
We have, I think, our three of us, this citizen of a world identity, which is real.
We are citizens of the world. World citizens. No, but it's true.
And it's real. It's shaped all.
But do you think it's good? I mean, is it worth it? All the, let's say, pain we've been through. Is it worth it? Because I mean, I asked some people that never travel, or they've been all their life, and like, I mean, they travel as a tourist. It's a completely different thing, because we move and we live and blend in the culture. Do you think it's worth it? What does it bring us? Does it from a neurological, mental health perspective give us something valuable? What is the value of being a expat? For you, I mean, what do you think? And according to science, according to spirituality, according to life, what is it worth it?
That's hard to answer. I think what one grows with it. I mean, it makes one definitely stronger, because compared to people who have never been somewhere else, apart from tourists, I think you learn a lot, but I would say it's worth it, because knowing my life now, I could never imagine myself being only French. But it's also hard to leave.
Hard to leave.
Yes, as you said, like mental health. You don't feel you belong anywhere. Where does that leave you? Okay, citizen of the world, that's nice, but as you say, there are not many people. And I think mentally, or on the health aspect, that's difficult, but I would not do it any different either. So I don't know, I cannot tell if it's worth it or not.
What is worth? Money?
No, but I mean, for example, when I talk to my friends in Spain that I met for a long time, and they never really move. I mean, or they move just, I mean, they only just for a short period of time. And they're happy. And I know people that only live in the same suburb. I mean, maybe they travel sometimes, 15 days. But they say, oh, my life is fine. I'm fine with that. I don't need to travel. I don't need to be an expat experience. So I just wonder, I mean, I don't regret it, but sometimes I just question it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have been dealing with this question a lot lately, especially with the kids, because to sum it up in a few words, I would like to move somewhere else, or to move more with the kids, and the father wants to stay in Germany, so he doesn't want to move at all. And what I've been told a lot is like, kids don't need to travel, kids don't need to go somewhere else, kids can only grow up in Germany and be perfectly happy. And my answer is always, kids can do that, but kids also don't need to play a music instrument, or they don't need to do sports or something. But if they want to, why should we take that? Yeah, why should we limit that? So I think that's the same answer. Some people don't need to, and some people need to move and live in different places. And I think, you know, if you have lived in different places, then it shows that it's something you need to do for yourself.
What is your opinion?
I think it's such an interesting question, because I think we all have this questioning. We all have this family back home where they look very happy, just not moving. But at the same time, my question is to say, okay, we are actually hardwired to be moving people, right? Before the industrial revolution, right? The agricultural revolution. We were moving.
We were nomads.
Yeah, we were nomads. We had to move and change places regularly to find food. So we should be very comfortable with that. But that was the family, right? Then that would be the next step. Say, okay, so why did we feel uncomfortable now? It's because we moved towards people who are not moving instead of moving together. Maybe that's another question.
But for me, my question here is: do you think it's part of personal development? I mean, do you grow as a human being when you have contact with other cultures and live in other cultures? I mean, is this good for the brain? Is this do you grow? I mean, your perspective is higher.
For me, it's a definitive yes. I mean, I would not compare and say, okay, people moving more are more intelligent or something, but you grow a lot by moving or by experiencing other cultures, just because you question your own culture. I would never have raised my kids the way I did it if I hadn't moved from France, because I would just have continued the way my parents did and the way my grandparents did, because I didn't have any people doing it differently. And going to Germany and seeing okay, that's how they do it here. Or actually, it was more like meeting some old French friends with kids and like, why are they doing different than me? And then I started thinking, okay, so how do I want to do it? Do I want to do it this way, or do I want to do it this way? I would never have asked myself this question if I hadn't moved.
Yeah.
It's a good question. My question always is, can you capitalize on it? But for me, it's always the ground. Like, what is wealth? Like, is it worth? Like, and I like this question because I wonder very often about that.
It's a philosophical,
Yeah, is it worth? But it depends what worth is. Is it because you can make money out of it and you can capitalize, and because you add values to the society back, and you can add value by monetizing it? Or is it just like personal development, the stake of personal development? Then I would tend to say, no, maybe not, because it's painful.
It's painful.
Yeah.
But I think from my perspective, what we earn basically is consciousness. We awareness of the life of a universe. I mean, like nothing is right or wrong. It's like everything is from your perspective. That's why I say, I think, therefore I create my reality. So you actually, is nothing right or wrong. It's that your culture, and you realize how you are conditioned by your culture.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like you get your awareness much higher, and you understand that you don't have the right to judge anybody. That's the most important for me. So for me, it's like a very, very very much metaphysic, a very much deep reward. So as a human being, I feel more connected with the universe, actually. No, even if maybe I could be a very good, high status person in my country if I never move, but all these challenges, I do think it made us stronger. We believe like more part of the human race. I think we are more connected with our origin. We are all together. We are all the same. As I would say in quantum physics, it's like we are everything is interaction, interconnected with each other, and you really feel, we are really part of something much higher. I mean, I really feel much more connected with the universe. For me, it's a very deep spiritual connection, because you get much more consciousness, and And in that sense, it's absolutely. It's like you feel, oh, we are so blind. We're so blind by our culture. We're so blind by the prejudice. We're so blind by what you believe that.
Yeah, we are so brainwashed by
we are so
our society.
brainwashed every culture. And you just, as long as I mean, it's amazing. Well, how much we are brainwashed by our culture, by our politicians, by our government, by everything. I mean, and we are not that. We are not that. And this is our disconnection from our ego. I mean, we are getting more connected with our true self when you are expat, and you feel this connection. Like, for example, if you are like, I mean, countries, they have these rivalities and prejudice. Oh, you're from this, you're from that. But then you have another understanding. So that if you don't get that from being a expat, then you lose the whole point, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big thing. I mean, for me, it's a great. But of course, at the same time, you lose a lot. At the same time, but I think from that perspective, it's a good reward. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I was linking the dots here when you said like you show your kids the differences, and the differences become the norms, and they become choices, and where you have more chances to find your own self into the panel of choices. And it's about what you said, say like it's different models, like you have the cultural models, so being the politics, the social, the family, or that follows the same models. And then when you go to a different countries, you have another models, and then you have all that, you integrate all this, and all of a sudden you have this huge consciousness that there is more than the model where you come from. And it's true that you lose what. Okay, can I say something that I feel like
yes, please.
You girls are actually getting into a very, very sensitive point here, because in my mind I have a book.
And you have a book. You're going to write.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
If I can monetize like before then. And it's exactly about that.
Wow.
It's exactly about that. It's how can we the model? It's a global model. My book. And this global model is based on how we experience all those differences, and how can we live better as a human being with the world, not only within countries and models, and to capitalize on that, but not only money-wise, but like personally-wise, and like to make a world where the human being feels so safe within the differences, so safe with not being part of only one norm somewhere, that it will change the whole way of thinking and of feeling, where the fear will more or less disappear. And imagine a world where we are able to, generation after generations, by having this model, so like the structure in my model, where the fears disappear. The fear of difference doesn't exist anymore, because that will be totally assimilated in a different way. And I like that, because then what next?
Yeah. And I believe like we are living in a very dense vibration level. There's a different levels of consciousness and vibration. Everything is vibration at the end of the day, and we know that everything is vibration. So when you get this step, I mean, further up, it's like you higher your vibration. You see things from this perspective. Oh, they are fighting because that's a stupid thing. I mean, this, you know what I mean? It's like you see the world from another planet, and you see. Oh, I mean, I'm theoretical, and you see. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, it's like you see things in perspective, and your consciousness gets higher, and I think you're a bit closer to the origin, to the universe. I think. I mean, for me, and it has to do with the vibration. It's because you feel like you get too much into things, physical things, and instead you get distance, perspective, and it's a very, very healthy. It's very healthy, very healthy. For me, it's worth it. It's worth it anyway. But at least, and in on the way, you lose something, the physical, and sometimes you lose things. But and also another thing is you learn about this attachment. You don't get attached to things. You don't identify. You're not that identified with your ego. So it helps you grow. Helps you grow.
The flow of energy becomes like way different. We're not like closed in. Like you really circulate.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah, I also feel definitely that the energy circulates more. And I was thinking the other day about plants and the difference between like, you know, a tree that is really has their roots somewhere and really cannot move, and the other plant that, you know, like strawberries, who just like do a small root somewhere, do another plant, and move like this, you know. And so I was seeing myself like as a strawberry moving from place to place and being able to grow some roots everywhere.
Excellent. That's
Yeah, and also another thing is like, well, I think in any countries we say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, we also say that in French.
Yeah. So it's you are we are like a fighters. We are challenged. So it makes you much stronger.
Yeah, although I think it's
psychologically stronger.
Sometimes I believe this, but also I ask myself, you know, how much do you get injured in that, and at what point do you not get stronger anymore, but you like lose strength? You know, I'm not sure about.
I think it's the question we are wondering: how much do we lose also in terms of?
Yeah, but that's a part of the challenge. It's like you either, you know, it's like. It's like the law of the I mean the nature, you know, that if you don't if you cannot manage it, you get over, you know, it's like mutation.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes I wonder how much is it a mutation, and how, because you know, sometimes when you get hurt, then you I don't know how you to explain, but you just start, you know, not getting feeling anymore, you know, you like you lose the nerve at the end. So I think a mutation is good, because it means like you change yourself, you grow further. But I'm asking myself, when is that really happening, and when is it just you know, when you burn yourself, then you don't have feeling anymore on the hands, and when is it healing? How much is healing?
Well, I think this is a lot. I think, of course, it's part of what I understand what you're saying, but it's also a little bit part of attachment. You know, like because as Buddha used to say, all suffering in the world comes from attachment. So if this comes from fear of losing, then it's attachment. But so you lose, as you said, fears. So, but I mean, it's part of as long as there is a balance, you know. Of course, if for example, I lose getting in touch with my family as much as but at the end of the day, I mean, you get in something new. So it's about attachment.
So basically, I don't know. I just want it's for my book. Because in this principle of I went through a dark night of the soul. You heard about
dark night of a soul? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that you feel like it's darker than dark. You feel all your cells are melting.
Okay.
You feel it will die, really, basically. And I personally had to stop eating for several days to get out of it. Okay. I was not getting out of it weeks, months, and I heard that some people were there for very long time, and I just stopped eating. So I went back, and
that's another part thing. Fasting.
Fasting.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. And then, so as you say, like my question is that, like, did I build up some trauma effect that will affect then my subconscious, that will affect all my next choices, and then I'm not that free anymore, actually, in exactly as you said. So. And then what I like is that you say, but if you go through this trauma, it's because of the attachments. And then I like that, because I was thinking, so maybe it's because I had this huge fear of losing everything. My life, the years, the money, but like I am nothing, I'm not nothing anymore for everybody. So it's attachment to things, but things is in our world is money, and money is life, right? Because without money, we feel we're going to die, right? We're going to live in the street and we're going to die. So this attachment, that is things, life medium, if we remove that thing, meaning like everyone has this universal salary, you heard about that? Yeah. Some countries want to do that. Then all of a sudden, can we say, okay, now we can do it. Now we can do it, right? Now we can we won't go through a trauma because we will not have this attachment
Fear
to
to,
fear and fear to attachment. But then we can grow.
But
Sounds
what
like-
do you say? Everybody has this
Universal salary income.
Universal income.
Universal income.
Salary.
Yeah, it's a state giving everyone a certain amount of money every month.
Yeah. Like some states are doing that. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm? Yeah. So you mean if everybody has the minimum to live, just the minimum
They
requirement?
don't fear for their life,
Mhm.
and they can of course do much better things or do things because they want to do it and not just because they fear, not being able to pay the rent or food and.
Mm.
And then we remove a trauma issue.
Yeah. So but what you I don't understand. I mean, what you mean? If you get this universal salary, how is gonna what is the consequences of that?
The consequences of that is that you can continue like exploring and you put yourself into more expanses in the world. All of a sudden you say, yeah, I want to try to
You mean you
have a
don't want to
restaurant.
be a hippie? You don't want to be total hippie?
No, I would like you want to open a restaurant in Malaysia. You want to experience what it is to be.
But also,
to
I
work in a
believe
restaurant in
you
Malaysia.
can compensate that because this is about life. This is philosophy. You compensate, let's say this about trusting yourself, believing in yourself, and trusting life. Because I think when you trust in life, I mean, when you have faith, then life brings you what you need. It's a lot to do with that. Yeah. So when you really are in this flow, in the state of flow, I mean, I experienced many times. I mean, it happened to me in Australia. I was in Sydney this summer. It was amazing. I lost all my money suddenly with no friends. I had it was like a disaster. But I said, I'll put it to the universe, please show me the way. I promise I got it. I'm a believer. I mean, I really, in that sense that I leave your destiny to the universe. I think it's the best we can do because everything in life can happen and everything can change. So if we're going from this point of view, and you accept that there's insecurity, uncertainty in life, it's much easier. It's because everything is about fears. I mean, what you're saying. When you live your life from not a place of non-fear, not a fear place, then everything is, and you flow, it's much easier. And actually, this is actually my major point in my channel. Just live your life without fear. Because it's the most important. Not that kind of attachment, not that kind of fear.
And you're a lot more free when you do that.
Yeah, trust, and you really believe that the universe is on your back. I mean, I experience myself every day, and it's just it's amazing how it works. But that's why I say it's so important to get this higher kind of awareness. So, I mean, I'm talking from my own experience.
But I think to be able to do that, you need
to believe yourself.
Yes, but also you need to be able to question everything you've learned. Because most people would think, oh, I need a job, I need a social security,
you don't need anything.
I need everything.
We don't need anything.
But I think it's also convenient for the society to have people still believing that.
Yes, because they want that. They said, I mean, there's a book. It's called Shopping and F. It means like we are like programmed. We are blind by the society because they just want us to be like a robot. So you buy things and you are like you expect. It happens a lot with the banks. It happens a lot with the monetary system. Because the mass, as the Romans during the Roman Empire used to say, the mass. Are you part of the mass, or are you the ones who decide your life? You know what I mean?
So basically, you are saying like your model cannot work
with the mass.
With the model we live in, which is like the global
Most
economy
of people
system.
are the mass.
Yeah,
they don't even aware. They're blind about their lives. They just follow what other people say. Because they don't really believe in themselves.
Yeah, and I think also because they never had the chance. I mean, it's easy. Like, it's easier for me now to criticize the French system and France because I have seen other systems and I have seen, okay, there's other things that are also working. But when you are inside of it, you know, you don't have any other reference, or you don't have any other examples. So it's hard then to put that in question and to try not to trust what has been done and what you have learned. Like, you know, I think it's very hard at some point to think, oh, what my parents taught me is not the truth. It's their truth,
that's
but it's not the truth.
And that's part of the personal development of being a
yeah. But yeah, and that's much easier to do when you have lived in different countries.
Yeah, it's easier. Yeah, it's easier.
I agree. So wow, now we are reaching like this. We are reaching like, yeah. How can we make it happen at the global level? You know, because we were like what, maybe 0.0 something of the global populations, right? Yeah. We're not alone though, but there is not that many. And so if you want that to happen,
I think for me the most important is that you listen to yourself and you are coherent. You listen to yourself. You have time to your silence moment. I mean, to meditate and I mean, what I do truly want. You know, just to introspection. I mean, really like listen to yourself. Really have this self-awareness. But one of the things is by being a witness of your own ego, of your own self, and don't identify with your ego and with the, you know, we are. I think everybody in the schools learn about EQ, emotional intelligence, like, and it's in psychology. We are not with just one brain. We have many different brains, and so we know this game between our internal dialogues. So when you recognize your internal dialogues, your different internal dialogues, because we have difference, and you in charge of that, and your witness of your internal dialogue, then you can really connect with your true self, because we have different selves. And I think that's the most important, that we have time to introspect, to listen to ourselves, to our different, and don't identify with try to identify with your real true self.
So because it feels like if we are talking to different groups of people, we have a happy people with the models they have been raised into, not questioning it because they don't know anyone and they don't have this feeling of uncomfort. Right? So that's the happy one. We don't know the percentage, it would be nice to know. And then we have the one who are there they cannot compare, but they feel like something missing. So I guess it's the one like you are speaking with, saying like, okay, if you feel not comfortable, if you feel not happy, then you will come in and you will say like, okay, get into silence, try to make the difference.
No, I think it's for everybody, especially the ones that think they're happy. They should question themselves. No, that's the opposite. It's the ones who don't question themselves. They should be the ones who question themselves. Because that's why when people are too much in their own country, when they're too much under the press of the society, is when they don't answer themselves. I know people, I mean, my own mother, she doesn't question herself at all. And she'd be the one who, I mean, she's too old now, but I mean, that's why it comes fanatism. That's why it comes extremism. And because you don't question yourself.
But how do we do
that? It's hard to...
That you cannot do that. Can you?
Yeah,
can you get them to think?
Can you get them to... And you know, actually, I love... there's a citat, how do you say, a quote from Carl Gustav Jung, and I love it. He said, most people don't like to think. That's why people have prejudice. And, you know, like already decided ideas about others. Because people don't want to think.
Yeah, of course. Why would you want to think? It's more convenient not to think.
Exactly.
Actually,
you just have your needs, you have your drink, you eat, and you have your needs covered, so you don't need to think.
Yeah.
So we have lost our humanity, I think.
And why do we think what they should think? Why shouldn't we just say, stop thinking, guys?
No, I think
So you'll be happy.
I mean, as another quote, and I think it's Buddha or something. We used to say, the teacher will come. The lesson will come, or teaching will come when the pupil is ready. Okay. So that's what I think. So just we are doing this consciousness trip, and so the people who has this awareness, like has more awareness, should show. I mean, it's our kind of say duty. But
I partly agree, but also I'm asking myself.
Or the ones who won't.
It sounds a little bit like preaching. And like when
no, because people, as I said, people, I mean, the teaching will come when the pupil is ready. So if they're not ready, they won't listen. You have to be in the same frequency, in the same frequency, level of frequency. So who's gonna listen to you? Who's gonna be interested? Actually, you attract people who are in the same level of consciousness. So people has to be, there's a book I love, David Hawkins. It's a lovely, I think it's an English book. He is the different levels of consciousness, and you attract people you are in the more or less level of consciousness. So people in a lower level will you high up, So it's part of the process. So it's no, you don't. And also I used to say, don't trust me, try it yourself. Don't trust. You have to experience yourself. Nobody's going, why I can say this? Because I experienced myself. So when you are ready, it doesn't have to, and as I said, we come to the origin. There's no truth, like one's true in that sense, because we have to question ourselves, but at the same time, there's one truth. It's like, I used to say, like, the only truth is everything is changing, but the changing is the only truth. You know what I mean? Is the only now. The only now is everything is changing. The only that exists is the now. So the only now is the changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a new global universe.
But maybe we just we don't want to. We may have another how you say follow up, and this has been like how you say a social gathering, tertulia. So we start with you. How you resume, summarize this in your own words. What you do? What would you say to someone who? Your experience and.
What would I say? So coming back to someone who would want to
what
go
have you
in
learned
another
of
country?
Today? What have you learned of today? Talking, or what is has this helped you?
That one also.
I need a moment for that.
No, what would you say about being an expat?
Well, I don't really like this word expat because I don't know what it means exactly, like in Spanish, but for me, an expat is someone who is sent from their company or a country. So expats usually don't blend in. They're like sent somewhere with usually life conditions that are not always a condition of the people actually living in the country. So I don't really consider myself as an expat. Let's say about
culture shock
immigrant.
Or luxury immigrants. Or let's say about culture shock. Culture shock. What is culture shock for you? What is good and what is bad? What is your tip? If you have something to say about culture shock, and someone is thinking about that, what is your? What is your?
You can continue on your thoughts, like about being immigrants and what you have experienced. But you were a student, right, at first?
Yeah, I was a student, so I don't know. For me, it has also always been easy to get used to other countries and other cultures. There is not one time where I didn't want to stay where I went, and I wasn't sadder to go back usually than to So I've always traveled. So I didn't really experience a lot this culture shock apart from the last years now, because I'm dealing with how do you say I'm not finding the word in English now. I hope you will cut that. That's good of editing. Just one moment.
Something to do with work or with kids?
No, the kids, not financial. What is the like with the law and stuff like that? With right, not administration, right, or legal. Yeah. So because I'm dealing more with legal issues now in Germany and confronting this legal system in Germany regarding the kids and stuff. So for me, my culture shock has come a lot later. I didn't experience that at the beginning when I come, but just in the last years. So I don't really know what advice to give, but I think what you said, like making a good research before you go somewhere, maybe asking yourself what are the real reasons that you go there? Are you just, are you giving up maybe your career, yourself, part of yourself to follow someone, or are you losing yourself to follow someone, or are you going to
do it for yourself? So do it for yourself.
Yeah,
do it from a place of love and abundance. Do it from a place of self-awareness, self-love. Do it for yourself.
I think do it for yourself, yes.
For your self-love.
Yeah.
To grow.
Good advice to give.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Do it from a place of not lack, of neediness, do it from a place of abundance.
Agree.
And you, what you would just say?
Listen to.
I like that.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
much.
I'm totally there, and I just add listen to your gut feeling.
Yeah,
the guts. Yeah,
it's amazing. You cannot go wrong. If you have a doubt, there is no doubt.
So sorry.
If you have a doubt, there is no doubt.
What do you mean? If you have a doubt.
Yeah, that means there is no doubt. Like if you are, if you feel like something's happening, I don't know.
Yeah, something.
Don't.
Yeah.
Wait. Just stay put. Wait.
If something doesn't feel 100% good, then
just
maybe
just don't go. Just stay where you are. Wait for the next message.
Yeah, actually, you said everything I wanted to say. I mean, actually. Well, I think there's something in me that I'm adventurous and I take the risk. I like taking risk for good or bad. So in my case, maybe I'm taking more risk than normal people. And that's part of my nature. And just don't blame anybody. Just it's your own decision. Just listen to yourself. Really, like take responsibility of your actions and say, okay, it's not no one else. You're not doing this to please anybody. It's not a sacrifice. You do it for yourself. So whatever it is, because we never know the results, if it's going to be good or bad. Do it from a place of own responsibility.
Totally.
No?
I think we're wrapping up on the same.
But I mean, for me, the reward is definitely still much higher. Yeah, because I think we learned. I mean, just my last quote: "You never lose to just learn." And you know what I mean? In life, you learn.
I think you agree there.
Yeah, you live, you learn. So.
You live, you learn. Yeah, that's the thing. So for me, it's worth learning because we are here. There's a meaning in life. For me, is we learn. We always want. For me, I think we are privileged people in the sense. I mean, we're not more than anybody, but in the sense we have the opportunity to grow our consciousness. In a better way. So in that sense, is I feel very happy about that. And you, what do you think?
I like that. I like that. I think because I am maybe like you in this process of stepping out with separations, and I'm dealing also with this. Well, I had the culture shock at the beginning. I also have it now again because I'm dealing with these legal aspects which also as you said, bring me more knowledge, because now I even understand even more like what the Siege people also are like that based on this system. But,
and everything is about balance. I mean, we want to grow. I mean, like, if you ask me, would you go to the North Pole? I wouldn't say yes, but I mean, it has to be a balance, you know, how much you can take. And I hope the universe or God or whatever just give you what you can take. So so we are here to learn. And hi everybody, thank you for listening to us. Melinda, Florence, Isabel, and if you like this, if you want to move to Europe, or you're planning to move to France, Sweden, Spain, and Germany, just let us know. We can give you tips. Seriously, we have experience about that. And so leave your comments below, and if you thumbs up if you like it. And just want you to let you know that she's been also in my my presentation of my foundation is Inspirical to help with mental health and grow our awareness. And thank you very much, and au revoir. Just
Cheers.
Goodbye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to